After years of rumors, fan campaigns, and even a statement from the actor himself, it has finally happened. Ryan Gosling has been announced as the new Ghost Rider for the big screen. The movie is expected to arrive in 2028, but Marvel is still hiding some important details. Will Gosling play Johnny Blaze or another spirit of vengeance? Will Mephisto be involved? And most importantly, will the studio actually have the courage to turn Ghost Rider into a true horror production? The announcement that set Comic-Con on fire. The confirmation came during Marvel Studios' panel at San Diego Comic-Con in 2026. The sound of a motorcycle echoed throughout the event, the Ghost Rider symbol appeared on the giant screen, and Ryan Gosling walked onto the stage alongside director Sean Levy. Kevin Feige confirmed that the movie is currently in development and scheduled for 2028. However, Marvel did not reveal the official title, any details about the story, or which version of Ghost Rider the actor will portray. The announcement confirmed Gosling, but left the biggest mystery unanswered. Ryan Gosling wanted this role. This was not a random casting choice. In 2022, Ryan Gosling revealed that Ghost Rider was the superhero he most wanted to play. Kevin Feige publicly responded by saying that he would love to find a place for the actor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. For years later, that conversation became a reality. Gosling also fits the lonely and tormented side of Johnny Blaze. In movies such as Drive and Blade Runner 2049, he demonstrated that he can communicate guilt, anger, and danger without relying on long conversations. Those are perfect qualities for a man cursed to share his body with a spirit of vengeance. There is also an interesting coincidence. Eva Mendes, Ryan Gosling's longtime partner, played Roxanne Simpson in the first Ghost Rider movie, released in 2007. Will he really play Johnny Blaze? Johnny Blaze is the most obvious possibility, but his identity has not yet been confirmed. Several other characters have carried the Ghost Rider mantle in the comics. Danny Ketch popularized a darker version of the character during the 1990s, while Robbie Reyes replaced the traditional motorcycle with a supernatural muscle car. Even so, Johnny remains the most likely choice. He is the most recognizable Ghost Rider, rides the classic motorcycle, and has an origin perfectly suited for a darker production. Marvel could also surprise audiences by revealing that the spirits of vengeance have existed for centuries and choosing a completely different host. What about Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider? Ryan Gosling will not be the first actor to portray the character on the big screen. Nicolas Cage starred in 2 Ghost Rider movies, released in 2007 and 2012. Despite the criticism those movies received at the time, his performance gained a dedicated fan base and remains the most famous cinematic version of Johnny Blaze. Marvel has not revealed whether the new movie will be a complete reboot or whether it could acknowledge the previous adaptations through the multiverse. Gosling will most likely play a new version of the character, but an appearance from Nicolas Cage would certainly become one of the most talked about moments in the entire production. So far, however, his return has not been announced. The origin that could inspire the movie. Johnny Blaze grew up performing dangerous motorcycle stunts. When he discovered that his adoptive father, Crash Simpson, was dying, Johnny agreed to surrender his soul in exchange for a cure. The disease disappeared, but Crash died shortly afterward during a stunt performance. Johnny lost his soul without being able to save the person he loved. As a consequence of the deal, he became bonded to Zarathos and began transforming into Ghost Rider. Whenever the spirit awakens, Johnny's skin disappears, his skull is consumed by flames, and his body becomes a supernatural force of vengeance. This origin would give the new movie something that many Marvel productions do not have: a protagonist who does not consider his powers a gift. Every transformation would become another reminder of the deal that destroyed his life. Mephisto could be behind everything. Mephisto's involvement has not been announced, but he would be a natural choice for the movie's main villain. In the comics, the demonic entity has a long history with Johnny Blaze and often uses bargains, manipulation, and false promises to control desperate people. The movie could show Mephisto offering to cure Crash in exchange for Johnny's soul, before using Zarathos to transform him into a servant. Johnny would not simply be fighting to defeat a demon. He would be fighting to regain control of his own body and free his soul. However, no information about the antagonist has been revealed. Until Marvel officially confirms something, Mephisto should be treated only as one of the leading possibilities for the story. The powers the movies have never truly shown. Ghost Rider is far more dangerous than the previous adaptations managed to demonstrate. He possesses superhuman strength regeneration, and complete control over hellfire. His flames can burn not only the physical body, but also the souls of his enemies. His most feared ability is the penance stare. By looking directly into someone's eyes, Ghost Rider can force that person to experience all the pain and suffering they have inflicted upon their victims. The more cruel the criminal is, the more devastating the punishment becomes. He can also transform chains, motorcycles, and other vehicles by covering them in hellfire. But his true power is revealed when Zarathos takes complete control. In that state, Ghost Rider can challenge some of the most powerful creatures in the Marvel Universe and become a threat even to Johnny himself. Marvel needs to embrace horror. The greatest challenge facing the movie will not be convincing audiences that Ryan Gosling can play Ghost Rider. It will be preventing the character from becoming just another Marvel hero surrounded by jokes. The best Ghost Rider stories involve demons, possession, condemned souls, and supernatural creatures. His transformation needs to look painful, while Zarathos should feel like a dangerous presence that Johnny can never completely control. Marvel needs to make the audience understand that every time Johnny transforms, there's a chance he may not return. If the studio fully embraces that atmosphere, it could create something completely different from the traditional adventures of the Avengers. The movie could also open the door to future encounters with Blade, Doctor Strange, and even a possible formation of the Midnight Suns. But before preparing another superhero team, the production needs to tell the tragedy of Johnny Blaze and make the audience fear the creature living inside him. The supernatural future of the Marvel Universe. Ghost Rider could become one of the central figures in the supernatural side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Doctor Strange has already opened the door to magical dimensions and creatures, while Blade could explore vampires and monsters hiding among ordinary humans. Johnny Blaze would be the perfect connection between these different worlds. His hunt for demons could place him on the path of sorcerers, monster hunters, and other cursed characters, eventually opening the door to a future formation of the Midnight Suns. However, the first movie should not exist only to prepare that team. Before any crossover happens, the audience needs to understand Johnny's tragedy, his connection to Zarathos, and the price he pays every time he transforms. Marvel could also introduce him as someone who has already carried the curse for some time, revealing the truth behind his deal gradually. This would allow the story to begin with Ghost Rider already in action, while his past remains surrounded by mystery. If the movie succeeds, Marvel will gain more than just another hero. It will gain the opportunity to build a true horror universe inside its larger franchise. Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider is a casting choice fans imagined for years, and now it has finally become a reality. The actor has the presence necessary to portray a lonely and cursed character who is constantly threatened by the creature living inside his own body. We still do not know whether he will play Johnny Blaze, who the main villain will be, or how far Marvel will take the horror elements. There is also no confirmation that Nicolas Cage will return. But if the studio finds the right tone, Ghost Rider could introduce a much darker side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now we want to hear your opinion. Is Ryan Gosling the perfect choice for Ghost Rider? And would you like to see Nicolas Cage return to the character? Leave your answer in the comments, give the video a like, and subscribe to Nerd Society for the latest Marvel and DC news.